You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. What if I told you that one of tennis's biggest champions walked away from the sport at her peak, only to return years later with a message that shook everyone, from Carlos Alcaraz to Coco Gauff? What if I told you that a former world number one, a two-time Grand Slam champion, a woman who once ruled Serena, Venus, Halep, and every giant in her path, disappeared from tennis just as the sport needed her most? What if I told you that Garbiñe Muguruza, once feared, once adored, has resurfaced years later with an update that has the entire tennis world talking again? And what if I told you that her recent message has sparked reactions from fans, especially because of her past controversies connected to players like Carlos Alcaraz, Aryna Sabalenka, Coco Gauff, and Jessica Pegula? This is the story tennis fans in the USA can't stop discussing. This is the comeback update no one saw coming. Fire Chapter 1: The Fall of a Champion. Garbiñe Muguruza wasn't just a good player. She was special, a Wimbledon champion, a French Open champion, a world number one, a player who could look Serena Williams in the eyes and beat her in a Grand Slam final, a player who could crush the ball like Sabalenka, move like Gauff, and think like Pegula, years before they arrived. But somewhere between the victories, the fame, the expectations, and the pressure, Muguruza disappeared. Not physically, she was still on tour, but mentally, emotionally, competitively, the spark was fading. Tournament after tournament, loss after loss, her ranking fell off a cliff. Rumors grew. Is she retiring? Is she burned out? Is she done with tennis? Then she stopped playing altogether. No farewell. No goodbye speech. Just silence. And for years, fans waited. Fire Chapter 2: The Controversies Nobody Forgot. During her final years on tour, Muguruza's name unexpectedly got dragged into several fan-driven controversies, not because she created drama, but because the tennis world was shifting around her. Point 1. The Carlos Alcaraz comparisons. When Carlos Alcaraz rose to fame, many Spanish fans began comparing him to Muguruza. Some said he was finally the new Spanish superstar. Others argued that Spain didn't appreciate Muguruza's success enough. It wasn't a direct feud, but her name kept appearing in debates, arguments, articles, and social media threads. Fans would comment, "Spain supports Carlos more than they ever did Garbiñe. Muguruza deserved better. Her achievements were undervalued." And those conversations never fully disappeared. 2. The Aryna Sabalenka rivalry that never was. Sabalenka and Muguruza were supposed to be the power-hitting rivalry of the decade. But as Sabalenka rose, Muguruza fell. Fans argued whether Muguruza could have matched Sabalenka's dominance if she stayed motivated. Some said yes. Others said her time was over. Again, she didn't create this controversy, but her legacy became part of Sabalenka's story. 3. The Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula shift. As Muguruza faded from the top 10, the American duo, Gauff and Pegula, rose quickly. Suddenly, social media debates began again. Is Gauff the new Muguruza? Pegula is now more consistent than Garbiñe ever was. Muguruza didn't fight hard enough. Fans compared confidence, professionalism, mental strength, even off-court behavior. It wasn't hate, it was almost disappointment. A feeling that Muguruza had unfinished business. Fire Chapter 3: The Silence Breaks. And then, after years away, Muguruza has resurfaced with an update that stunned fans. Her message? Simple, emotional, and powerful. She said she's at peace. She talked about her life outside tennis, her happiness, her personal growth, finding balance, learning who she is beyond the sport. She didn't slam anyone. She didn't attack the media. She didn't respond to past controversies. Instead, she simply spoke from her heart. And that's what shook fans the most. Because sometimes, silence can be louder than noise. And peace can be more powerful than drama. Fire Chapter 4. The fans react, and the internet explodes. Within minutes of her update being posted, fans from all over the world, especially the USA, flooded social media. We miss her on court. She deserved a better ending. This is the closure we needed. Muguruza was a queen. Tennis never replaced her. Some fans even brought up the old controversies again. Alcaraz gets so much hype, but Muguruza carried Spanish tennis first. Sabalenka is great, but Muguruza inspired her generation. Gauff and Pegula are amazing, but I wish Muguruza stayed to compete with them. The reactions weren't negative. They were emotional, respectful, nostalgic, because deep down, fans knew Garbiñe Muguruza wasn't just a player. She was a moment in tennis history. Fire Chapter 5. The big question: is she coming back? Every single update from her, no matter how small, triggers the same question: is Muguruza planning a comeback? She hasn't said yes. She hasn't said no. She leaves tiny hints. She still trains. She still loves tennis. She still follows the tours closely. She still speaks like a champion. But she also says she values peace and a life beyond pressure. So the question remains, is the door truly closed? Or just slightly open? Fans are split. Some think she's done. Others believe she'll pull a Kim Clijsters comeback. And honestly, in tennis, you can never say never. Fire Chapter 6. Her legacy hits different now. Muguruza's story matters because it teaches something the tennis world often forgets. Champions are humans. They break. They heal. They grow. They return, or they don't. But their impact stays forever. Her Wimbledon moment. Her French Open domination. Her fearless attitude. Her elegance on court. Her battles with Serena. Her aura that made every player nervous. These memories don't fade. Not for fans. Not for the sport. And definitely not for the USA audience that adored her during her prime. Garbiñe Muguruza has spoken. And her message is clear. She is happy. She is healthy. She is living life on her own terms. And sometimes, that's the comeback fans truly need. Whether she returns to tennis or not. Her story isn't over. Because legends don't fade. They evolve. And Muguruza, she's evolving into something even stronger than a champion. A woman who finally owns her peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.